Somewhere, right now, a new life is beginning. And what happens inside the human body in those first few hours after conception is far stranger, far more dramatic than most people ever realize. It starts with the most brutal race in nature. Millions of sperm cells flood into the female reproductive system, each one pushing, fighting, burning through energy, just to survive long enough to reach a single egg. Most will die within hours. Only a handful will even get close. And of those, only one will win. The moment a single sperm breaks through the outer layer of the egg, something remarkable happens. The surface of the egg changes almost instantly, chemically sealing itself shut. Every other sperm that tries to enter is locked out permanently. The egg has made its choice. Then the tail of the winning sperm simply dissolves. It was only ever a delivery vehicle. The head fuses with the egg, and the two nuclei, one carrying the father's DNA, one carrying the mother's, merge into a single blueprint. 23 chromosomes from each parent, 46 total. One complete set of instructions for building an entirely new human being. This single cell is called a zygote, and it already contains everything. Every trait, every tendency, every biological detail of the person it will become. Now the building begins. The zygote starts dividing. One cell becomes two, two become four, four become 8. And as this tiny cluster of cells multiplies, the walls of the fallopian tube gently contract around it. Thousands of microscopic hair-like structures called cilia slowly sweeping it forward toward the uterus. This journey takes 3 to 5 days, and the cells never stop dividing. By the time it reaches around 16 to 32 cells, the cluster is called a morula, Latin for little mulberry. Soon after, fluid begins to fill the inside, forming a hollow sphere. Now it's called a blastocyst. And this blastocyst is not just a ball of identical cells anymore. It has 2 distinct regions, an outer layer that will eventually become the placenta, and an inner group that will develop into the baby itself. On around day 5, the blastocyst breaks free from the membrane it's been enclosed in this whole time. It hatches, and it finds the wall of the uterus, the endometrium, and it burrows in. This is called implantation. From this moment on, the embryo has access to the mother's blood supply. It has nutrients, it has oxygen, it has everything it needs to grow. But sometimes, in a rare and extraordinary twist, nature does something unexpected. Before implantation, or in the very early days after, the developing cluster of cells can split into 2 completely separate groups. Each group carries the exact same DNA from the original fertilized egg. Each one continues to divide on its own. Each one will eventually become a baby. This is how identical twins are born. Scientists still don't fully understand what causes this split. Genetic factors may play a role. Certain fertility treatments seem to increase the likelihood, but in most cases, it appears to be nothing more than biological chance, a random event with profound consequences. And here's what most people don't know. The timing of that split changes everything. If the split happens in the first 2 days, at the very earliest stage, each twin develops completely independently. Separate amniotic sac, separate placenta, separate everything. These are called dichorionic diamniotic twins. They share a womb, but each one has its own private environment. This is the safest outcome for identical twins. If the split happens slightly later, between days 4 and 8, after the morula has already formed into a blastocyst. The twins will share one placenta, but each will have their own amniotic sac. These are monochorionic diamniotic twins, and sharing a placenta introduces serious risk. Because a shared placenta means a shared blood supply, and blood doesn't always flow equally, in a condition called twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome, one twin receives too much blood, growing larger, putting strain on its heart. The other receives too little, starving, falling behind. Without medical intervention, both twins die in 50 to 70% of cases. With treatment, survival is possible, but it is never guaranteed. If the split happens between days 8 and 13, the twins share one placenta and one amniotic sac. Their cords float freely in the same fluid. Every movement can tighten the knot. If it happens after day 13, the separation is incomplete. The bodies cannot fully pull apart. These are conjoined twins. Most are stillborn, one egg, one moment. But the timing, measured in single days, determines everything. There is no drama in nature, quite like the beginning of a human life.